Good morning, everybody. And let us say it is a hot one in Oklahoma. We're sweating in places we should not be sweating. Anyways, I've been experimenting with a new technique. I have a wild imagination, and my mind kept flashing to a picture of layered feathers. I tried several different things, but it just became a jumbled mess, and it was awful. One day when I was mixing my paint, I had the Floetrol and gloss medium together and was stirring it around, and some of it splashed onto my table, and I had, excuse me, I'm just blah, 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 blah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so, sorry. I was stirring up this concoction that I was going to add paint to, and some of it splashed out and onto the plastic sheeting that I put down on my table. And so I went on about my business and was swiping out these feathers. And the next day I come in and notice that the little place where I had gotten it all over the table, it had dried just like the paint skins. And so I peeled it up, and it was a clear rubber, piece. And so I thought, well, I got this little canvas here, and I thought I'm going to go ahead and do the experiment. I've been thinking about this for a good 6 months, maybe more, and just haven't got around to doing it yet. But what I did was I just mixed 40% gloss medium and 60% Floetrol into probably an 8-ounce cup. So 8 ounces, 40 and 60 would probably be 2 ounces of gloss medium and 4 ounces of, no, 6, yeah, okay, 2 ounces of gloss medium versus 6 ounces of Floetrol. That is the mix that I'm putting on the canvas right now. So I poured the 2 orange feathers, and I let it dry for a week. I was going with the 48 hours thing, but they just weren't really dry, and life got in the way, and so it went ahead and dried all the way. And so I thought, well, I need to cover my canvas, the whole canvas, with this mixture. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm taking that 46 mixture of gloss medium and Floetrol and just spreading it on my canvas with the palette knife. Well, it's a big Liquitex spreader called Freestyle. So I'm just trying to get that as smooth as possible. This canvas is a 12 by 12 gallery wrap canvas, and I only used half the cup, so not very much at all. I mixed the whole cup, and I used it throughout the layers. I see a lot of artists in the art pouring groups that feel like they have burnout, and I'm experiencing that with this orange feather. The feather looked really bad, I thought, and I hated it. And so I thought, well, that's good because I'm going to cover up the ugly parts. And when I did the blue, it got too big, and I missed the ugly parts and covered up some of the nicer parts. And so with my with my experiments, I tend to video or record them instead of doing experiments off camera and then coming on camera and showing you what's happened in a new and better way. I just kind of throw it out there as I'm doing it, and that way, you can learn from it too. Maybe what not to do sometimes, but I definitely had burnout at this point, and I felt like all my feathers were trash. And so that's another reason why the video took longer to make, because I just had to take a 2-week break. I mean, I still have a big garden and a full-time job. And so, I've been pumping these. Oh yeah, get it, Greasy Granny. Look at that hairdo. Sorry. I've been pumping these feathers out since January. I had applied for a solo show in a gallery downtown, and I got picked for October. And so I had only had 2 feathers made at that time for the show. And so I've been pumping these feathers out, and the closer it gets, the more anxiety I get about the whole situation because it's my first show. And so I kind of stopped doing videos because I just wanted to concentrate on the art. And the layered piece I put out, I'll show you at the end of this video, or this segment right here. After I show you the picture of this dry, it was not the same as this one in the process. This is a lot better process, I think, than pouring the white paint on the sides, allowing 48 hours to dry, and then doing another one, because some of the paint really got mixed up, and I wasn't real impressed with the whole thing. I still don't really like it. It got a lot of response on Facebook in the groups, so a lot of people did like it, and that just goes to show you that not all the things you think are ugly, everybody's going to think is ugly. So if they get a good response in the pouring groups, then I go ahead and put them in the show. But if they don't, I probably won't put them in, because I think we judge each other pretty good. And so if a majority of people like it, then, you know, it might sell. And I had read an article about putting your best foot forward. And so you shouldn't put out your crappy work. So what I do is hang it on the wall, and then I'll pour over it at a later date or add to it. I have one in the show that I'm still not sure about. But yeah, feather burnout is for real. I was about sick of doing them. So I stopped and came back. And then we went into the blue feather. So sometimes I get done recording and I'll go do something else and come back and retouch up some of the stuff. And I usually don't get that on video because I've already taken the camera off the stand. And so here I've left it on and turned it back on to make sure that I just did a little more touch up with it. So the blue feather ended up drying for another couple weeks. And you can see it's clear on top. The pouring medium mixture just made a clear area over the top, kind of like a gloss medium, but not really. Not a gloss medium, I'm sorry, a gloss varnish. But it was more like a satin finish. But you could see straight through it, and it didn't interrupt anything of the painting underneath it. And it was clear. But I noticed with the feathers, there's a clear area there, and you can see the orange underneath the blue. So that was pretty neat. Learning something new. And this is it dry. And here we are. This was my first attempt at the layered feathers. The green dried really dark, and so I didn't really like that. But it got a lot of attention on Facebook, so that was kind of exciting. Here is the third layer. So I'm pouring the same mixture out of the cup. It's the 40% gloss medium from Liquitex and the 60% Floetrol, American Floetrol. And just smoothing it out the same way with palette knife. You can move it around however you want to, but just flood your canvas there a little bit. Doesn't take a whole lot. Well, for this size anyway. Yeah, so today I did this green one, and I didn't like it either. And so I've got a peacock feather that I've drawn out, and I want to do a realistic looking peacock feather. And I just can't get on it because I'm scared I'm going to ruin it. But this weekend for sure I'm going to get to it. I thought this was going to be our last layer. But I think that I wanted it to be a rainbow look. And so you could see the blue, some of the orange, and this green feather gets huge. So I'll probably do a purple and then, or a yellow. I'm not really sure. But I wanted to get this video out this weekend. But this is August 13th. But I think I might go ahead and finish it out and do a purple layer or something. It really depends on how this dries. But this thing spread out all over the canvas. I'm still having a hard time with these feathers. You know, you figure out the thing and you think you got it, and then you just start going backwards again. And it's just burnout, I think. You know, I just put it down and go do something else. Go pick tomatoes or cantaloupe or something. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button or the like button. And you guys have a great day. Stay safe out there, and most importantly, stay sane. Have a good day. Bye.